Welcome to the Defense Enrollment Eligibility Reporting System known as DEERS. During this video, we will be using or referring to handouts that you can download from our website. If you have not already downloaded them, I suggest that you pause the video now and do so. Okay, let's get started. What is DEERS? This is a system the Department of Defense or DoD and TRICARE use to determine if people are eligible to use various military services. Service members and their dependents must be enrolled in DEERS to use military medical services and commissary, exchange, and MWR facilities. It is from DEERS that military ID cards are created. To be eligible for military benefits and receive an ID card, family members must be enrolled in the DEERS database. That's what we are going to talk about on this video. By the time you finish this video, you will know why it is important to register in DEERS, what documentation you'll need for enrollment, how to find a DEERS Rapids location near you, and a helpful website that is a valuable resource available to everyone enrolled in DEERS. Let me tell you why having an ID card is so important. You have to have an ID card to gain access to military installations, military exchanges, the commissary, and morale, welfare, and recreation facilities. Additionally, with a military ID card, you can receive many community-based discounts at theme parks, retail stores, hotels, and so much more. Having a military ID card certainly has its benefits. However, DEERS does more than just provide you with a military ID card so that you can access things like the commissary and military exchange. DEERS is the database that establishes eligibility for base housing, that is for active duty personnel and family members, medical and dental benefits, educational benefits, life insurance, service member group life insurance, which is also known as SGLI. DEERS is also the National Enrollment Database for TRICARE. The only way you can use TRICARE medical services is to be enrolled in DEERS. Some of the basic information contained in the DEERS database includes name, age, address, phone, and dependent family member information. At this time, turn to Handout 1. As you can see, this handout outlines how to verify and update your DEERS information. Pause the video for just a minute as you look over this information. I cannot stress enough how vitally important it is that current and accurate information be entered into the DEERS system. If the information is incorrect, you will be denied your benefits and entitlements. As you saw on the handout, there's a variety of ways to verify and update your DEERS information. This can be done by phone, fax, in person, mail, and/or online. Notice that each family member's record must be updated separately too. Now let's take a look at who can actually get an ID card. The following family members are defined as dependents for the purpose of DEERS enrollment: spouse, children, stepchildren, wards defined as an unmarried person whose care and physical custody has been entrusted to the sponsor by a legal decree or other instrument issued by a court of law or placement agency recognized by the Secretary of Defense. Pre-adoptive children, defined as an unmarried person who is placed in the home of the member or former member by a placement agency, also recognized by the Secretary of Defense in anticipation of the legal adoption of the person by the member. Survivors, dependent parents, step-parents if determined by Defense Financial and Accounting System, or DFAS, to be a bona fide dependent, remarried, and unmarried former spouses, if eligible based on length and period of marriage to the service member. Children and stepchildren who remain dependents until age 21, or age 23 if they are a full-time college student. Children and stepchildren can also remain dependents past age 21 or 23 if they are incapable of self-support due to a medical or physical condition. Normally, children and stepchildren under the age of 10 are not issued ID cards. However, children under the age of 10 may be issued an ID card if one of the following prerequisites is met. Parents are dual military, parent is single, child is not residing with a military ID card holder. What documentation do you need to enroll in DEERS? Depending on the situation, there are certain documents required to enroll in DEERS to obtain an ID card. In the event of a major life event, marriage, divorce, adoption, birth, or death, it is the service member's responsibility to update DEERS. Only the service member may add or delete a family member to or from DEERS. It is imperative that the DEERS database remains updated. Turn to Handout 2. Handout 2 contains the information you need for the required documentation for DEERS enrollment. There is also more information on eligibility. Take a minute to read those sections that may pertain to you. You saw what identification you will need on Handout 2. Now turn to Handout 3. Service members and their families are required to have 2 of the documents identified in Handout 3 at the time of receiving their ID cards. At least one of the documents must be an unexpired photo ID. Documentation may come from Group A or B or a combination of both. Look and see if you have the right documentation as outlined on this handout. Now turn to Handout 4. This is a copy of the DD Form 1172. This is the required form you will need to apply for an ID card and/or enroll in DEERS. It must be signed by the commander and service member. What happens if a family member needs an ID card and the service member is not present? As the family member, you must have a DD Form 1172, which is the application for Uniformed Services Identification Card and DEERS enrollment. This form must have been signed by the service member within 90 days of when you will use it. For any questions on what documentation is required, you should call your local ID card office. If you do not have a signed DD Form 1172, you can also use a power of attorney from the service member to sign the DD Form 1172. Where can you find a DEERS location? DEERS locations are often referred to as DEERS Rapids locations. RAPIDS is the acronym for the Real-Time Automated Personnel Identification System, RAPIDS. It is the hardware, software, and communications equipment used to update DEERS and issue ID cards to service members and their dependents. DEERS Rapids locations can be found throughout the world on active duty installations, National Guard armories, and reserve centers. You can obtain or update your military ID card at any DEERS Rapids location as well, regardless of which branch of service the service member belongs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, and Coast Guard. To find the nearest DEERS Rapids location, go online to the website listed on the screen you are viewing. It will help you to find a location near you. Are you familiar with the website MilConnect? This website was created and is maintained by the DEERS Division of the Defense Manpower Data Center. It also allows you to view and update many things in your DEERS record. You can find answers and information concerning health care, TRICARE, dental care, military personnel, SGLI, plus so much more. Service members, you can also transfer your educational benefits to your family members on this site. If you are required to keep your civilian employment information updated, you can do that there as well. Mill Connect is also mentioned on Handout 1 as one of the options given to verify and update DEERS information. Write down the links so you can explore this site. It can make it easier on yourself to update not only your DEERS record, but your dependents records as well. Check out this site today. DEERS is only as good as the data contained within it. It is very important to keep information current and accurate to ensure benefits and entitlements are not interrupted. Remember, service members and dependents should not wait until deployment to update their information. Hopefully, you now have a better understanding of the importance of registering in DEERS, the documentation needed for enrollment, how to find a DEERS Rapids location, and the DEERS resources available to you. These are the handouts you may have downloaded and viewed for use during this video.